Top 10 longest rivers in the world. 10 The Amur River.
The 10th longest river in the world is the Amur River, which extends 4,444 kilometers to 761 miles. This is the total length when you include its farthest source, the River Argun. The Amur's run begins in Mongolia and heads east through China and Russia, forming the primary border between the far east of Russia and northeastern China. Its mouth is the Amur estuary emptying into the Strait of Tartary. 9. The Congo River. The Congo River is the 9th longest river in the world and 2nd longest in Africa, extending a total distance of 4,700 kilometers to 922 miles from its farthest source to its mouth. It flows through the Congo rainforest, a flow that is the 2nd strongest in the world behind the Amazon. This supplies a vital water source to over 400 species of mammals, including gorillas, African bush elephants, bonobos, and more, with over 1,700 species of birds and fish also represented. Running through the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Central African Republic, Angola, Republic of the Congo, Tanzania, Cameroon, Zambia, Burundi, and Rwanda. Starting in the east, it arcs up to the northwest before heading southwest to its mouth bordering Angola and the Democratic Republic of the Congo into the Atlantic Ocean. 8. Rio de la Plata River. Rio de la Plata is the 8th longest river in the world, and it measures a grand 4,880 kilometers 3,032 miles in length. This is the length of the combined overlapping Paraná, Rio Grande, and Uruguay rivers. The Rio de la Plata by itself is just 290 kilometers 180 miles long, but taken as a whole with its tributaries is much longer and runs north to south through Brazil, Bolivia, Paraguay, Uruguay, and Argentina. It empties into the Atlantic Ocean between Argentina and Uruguay. Another accolade of the Rio de la Plata is that it is the widest river in the world, reaching a staggering 220 kilometers wide in a few areas. 7. The Obi River. The 7th longest river in the world is the Obi, which extends a total of 5,410 kilometers 3,362 miles. This is when the Irtysh River is included as part of its main course. The Obi is on the west of the three major Siberian rivers Obi, Yenisei, and Lena, and runs north through Mongolia, China, Kazakhstan, and Russia. It empties into the Gulf of Obi, which is the longest estuary in the world at around 1,000 kilometers 620 miles long. 6. Yellow River. The Yellow River is the 6th longest river in the world, stretching 5,464 kilometers 3,395 miles across China. It's the 2nd longest river in China. The Yangtze is the longest sea below it begins in the Bayan-Har Mountains and winds around the north and then east with its basin in the Bohai Sea, nearby to Dongying City. In terms of provinces, the Yellow River runs through Qinghai, Sichuan, Gansu, Ningxia, Inner Mongolia, Shaanxi, Shaanxi, Henan, and Shandong. The river's basin is said to be home to over 160 native species of fish, 19 found nowhere else in the world. The Chinese pond turtle and Chinese softshell turtle are also native to the Yellow River. You'll also find the Chinese giant salamander by its waters. 5. Yenisei River. The 5th longest river in the world is the Yenisei, which extends 5,539 kilometers 3,445 miles north through Mongolia and Russia. It's the central one of three major Siberian rivers along with the Obi above and the Lena, and begins at its source of the tributary Selenga River. 97% of the river is in Russia and just 3% in Mongolia. 4. Mississippi River. The Mississippi River is the 4th longest river in the world and the longest in North America. Stretching from its source to mouth, it measures 5,971 kilometers 3,710 miles. Running entirely through the United States, the Mississippi passes through the states north to south Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, Illinois, Missouri, Kentucky, Tennessee, Arkansas, Mississippi, and Louisiana, before exiting into the Gulf of Mexico. 3. Yangtze River. The Yangtze River in China is the third longest river in the world. From source to mouth, it extends some 6,300 kilometers 3,915 miles. It's the longest river in Asia and also the longest river that flows entirely in just one country, China. From its source in Jari Hill in the Tanggula Mountains, the Yangtze travels east through China to the Yangtze Delta Basin. The river is also home to the largest hydroelectric power station, Three Gorges Dam. The river is also the only place where you'll find the Chinese alligator and narrow-ridged finless porpoise. Its 3 parallel rivers of Yunnan protected areas is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, noted for being one of the most biologically diverse temperate regions on Earth. 2. The Amazon River. The second longest river in the world is the Amazon, which stretches at least 6,400 kilometers 3,977 miles from source to mouth. The mighty Amazon runs through the north of South America, going through Peru, Colombia, and Brazil. Its mouth, the Amazon Basin, is the largest drainage basin in the world, and the river provides 20% of the global river discharge into the ocean. 1. The River Nile. The Nile is the longest river in the world and measures 6,695 kilometers 4,160 miles in length from its source to its mouth. The Nile runs north through a large portion of East Africa, running through Burundi, Rwanda, Tanzania, Kenya, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Uganda, Ethiopia, South Sudan, and, finally, Egypt. The primary water source of Egypt, South Sudan, and Sudan, much of ancient Egypt was built up along the side of the river. Its basin is at the tip of the nation, the Nile Delta, and water from the mighty river flows into the Mediterranean Sea.